Welcome to Study Skills for College, and I will be your presenter, Aaron Barbie. We will be covering several topics during this presentation. Speaking of the topic of study skills, you'll have to realize that most of us aren't born with great study skills. Although you might have classmates that have gotten by in classes without studying much, most of us have to put forth time and effort in order to get good grades in class. We will be focusing on the concept of establishing good study skills. We'll be talking about different tips and suggestions that you can use. Some of them may work for you, some of them may not, so you'll have to decide which ones work for you. We'll wrap up with the discussion of being mentally prepared to study. Now you might be curious what study skills are exactly. There are different little tricks or techniques or even sometimes devices that help you build a foundation that make it easier for you to get better grades and retain information for your classes. Sometimes study skills are more tangible or physical, such as note cards or flashcards, or simply just taking notes in class. Sometimes they're more conceptual, such as scheduling time and setting that aside for your studying and reading, or even just forming a study group for class. So why do you need good study skills? Doing well in exams and doing well in class requires that you have a well thought out and well put together plan for your studying. And while you might have done excellent in high school as far as your grades go, you'll probably find that your study techniques and the methods that you use to prepare for those same exams and classes in college aren't going to work exactly the same as they did in high school. So some of the other techniques that are available might be helpful for you. So there will be some adaptation required on your part in order to get prepared and ready for your university studies. Study skills aren't something that most of us are born with. While you might have done well in high school, most college and university courses tend to be quite a bit more advanced and challenging than the similar courses might be in high school. Simply paying attention in class and listening to what the instructor or the professor is saying is not the same as it was in high school. When you're in college, they expect you to put forth more effort, and that means not necessarily just paying attention in class, but it also means being prepared for the next class, prepared for the next paper, or being prepared for an exam. Now that we've discussed what study skills are, let's talk about how to get started with the whole process. The first thing is that you want to set small goals and build yourself up to the studying that is going to make you the most successful student you can be. You don't want to jump right into it and start reading every chapter and every book for every class. You're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to find that you become stressed out with the whole process. Just like an exercise regimen, you can't jump in and start running 5 miles every day. You have to build up your stamina and build up your abilities. The same thing goes for studying. You want to be able to ease yourself into it. Start off with something small like 30 minutes of reading each night in a different textbook, and then build yourself up as you become more familiar with the material and more comfortable with the studying time that you allotted. We'll talk about the actual time management portion of this process in just a little bit, but keep in mind that you want to schedule the time that you're going to study rather than just thinking in your head that you need to do some studying this week. You'll want to take the time to jot it down, put it in a calendar and so forth, so that you remember that it needs to happen and that you're sort of forcing yourself to do the studying. As you become more used to reading 30 minutes a night in different textbooks as you progress, you'll want to build that up to 45, 60 minutes, and so forth. After that, you'll even want to add on additional techniques, such as jotting down key terms from a textbook and updating your notes that you've taken during class and re-reviewing them. Finally, as you progress through your goal setting, change your goal from a time-based to a limit-based goal, where you go from 30 or 60 minutes of reading in a particular textbook to reading portions and then entire chapters, and then you will progress through the book much faster.